Welcome back to the channel, I'm Rich. It's been about 4 months since the Pixel 10 Pro Fold release and I've been using it ever since. So this is my full, real day in the life review. Not one of those early spec run videos where creators get their phone 2 weeks before launch and call it a review. Honestly, I don't know how you can fully judge an $1,800 phone after barely living with it. So yeah, I'm a little bit late to the party, but in the tech space, I actually think that's a good thing. Instead of rushing to be first, I've had time to daily drive it, updates, battery cycles, and real world use and all that. Now, just like anyone else, the first thing you'll notice is that massive $1,800 price tag, and naturally you start asking yourself, is this thing actually worth it? And with only 2 color options, Moonstone and Jade, Google didn't exactly overwhelm us with variety, so I went with Jade. And in a world where every flagship phone is some sort of shade of gray, silver, or black, I wanted something with a little bit more personality. Now, I think this phone could easily go unnoticed by a lot of people, especially with the Galaxy Z Fold 7 dropping. Many are calling that the best foldable we've seen in a while, and honestly, I get it. But I wanted to focus on the Pixel because Google is still one of the biggest players in the smartphone space, and this is them refining their foldable vision. The Pixel 10 Pro isn't just Google trying again, it's them improving it. You've got a new gearless hinge that folds completely flat, plus an IP68 water and dust resistant rating, making it the first foldable to ever achieve that, and that is not easy to pull off. Powering it is a Tensor G5 chip with UFS 4.0 storage. It's not the fastest processor on the market, but it does handle multitasking, app launches, and AI processing smoothly, and Google is clearly leading heavily into the AI edge. More on that later. Anyways, I did not charge the Pixel 10 last night. I actually forgot to do it by accident, but I guess this is the perfect time to test out the officially rated 30-watt charging speed, though some reports suggest peak or short burst capabilities up to 39 or 45 watts depending on charging conditions. I'm gonna test it out here, so I'm gonna plug it using the Charge 140 watt PD 3.1 fast charger, and not only is this fast with 3 total ports, but I also dig the retro / futuristic color and design of it too. So today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. I took a day off from my other job to film this for you guys. My morning routine isn't anything too complex, just a quick splash with cold water first to wake myself up, then quickly to warm water and face wash soap. Alright, so I actually don't know if I'm gonna put my hair up or put it down today. Some of you guys that watch the videos know that sometimes I like to have my hair combed back, like a slick back, and it's like wet, but I don't know, today I feel like I kind of want to keep it down, me look a bit edgier, you know what I'm saying? So tell me what you guys think down below. I like to keep my hair short on the sides a lot, have a skin fade, so it gives me a variety to either put it down or put it back up. So this is the hair we're rocking with today. Not bad, right? Some people think I actually have a perm, but no, this is literally how my hair is. It's natural. I would never ever get a perm. I'd be caught dead with one if I ever did. Is this how it is? I always wanted straight hair my entire life, but I think curls are finally back in again. So a lot of people, a lot of girls like that too. Anyways, about 15 minutes in, the phone jumped from 6% to 29%, so that's a pretty solid low battery boost, especially paired with the charger I'm using. It says it'll be fully charged by 12 p.m, so we'll see how accurate that estimate really is. In the meantime, I'm gonna get dressed and bring in a few packages downstairs, starting with a new gaming chair I got sent in, and I'm super excited about that. Pretty big. At least I put in the lobby door so it's not sitting outside where someone can snatch back packages. Damn, I got like 3 flights of stairs. It's a morning workout. Start with this first. I'm not gonna lie, I unbox like a lot of furniture and tech stuff on the weekly, daily basis, if anything. Honestly, looking at this is like a lot of work. It's like you gotta unbox it, you gotta assemble it, look at the instructions, and then once it's all done, set it up, use it, and then you have all like the broken boxes and styrofoam and plastic that's all surrounding. Then you have to like break down the boxes and chuck it out in the recycling bin. It's a lot of work, honestly, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, oh, you know, another chair. Also, here's the next package. So I bought an OBD2 scanner. This is like a Bluetooth one for my car. As many of you guys know on the channel, I do drive a 2004 Honda Accord. It's been super, super reliable, especially here in the northeast region of the US, we've gotten a lot of snow lately with all the salt and snow that I have to drive over. It's just tanking it through. So I do want to get this just in case, because I know a lot of my other friends are getting a bunch of error codes on their cars, and I also want to keep myself careful too. If you guys know anything about cars, usually the OBD scanners are like these big, blocky, chunky ones that you can find at your local like AutoZone. I decided to be a little hip, a little cooler. We're gonna give this a shot. This is like a Blue Driver Pro scan tool, and it'll give you all of the Bluetooth readings. Fear no fix. Yeah. This phone needs to hurry up, man. I know it's gonna be 12 soon. It's 11:28, and we are about 85%, so it's pretty accurate so far. After this, I'm gonna head down to go get pho. If you guys don't know what pho is, it's like a Vietnamese authentic soup. I am Vietnamese myself. I do speak the language pretty well, but it's definitely better than ramen in my opinion. Hot take. And I guess while we wait, I'll just talk to you guys about my YouTube journey. If you guys want to hear more about that, let me know. But essentially, I don't think this channel is large by any means. And believe it or not, I've been doing YouTube for like a decade now. I started filming videos when I was like 10, 12. It was like your classic, you know, I was bored, home alone, didn't have any friends. And then I was like a very nerdy kid growing up too. So anytime I got like a new product in, tech gadget, like a battery bank or something, I would kind of film it, give you guys my review, because I see those stuff posted online, YouTube back then. And YouTube back then was a whole different space, man. Like, there weren't as many ads as there were today, and just a whole different space, which you can let me know more about. But then once I got to high school, I was getting bullied a lot, which, I mean, I'm not trying to get pity from you guys, but I was in a very weird, awkward phase. So I was like filming the comedy skits, doing videos with other friends, shooting like music videos, restaurants, and all that stuff. So I kind of wasn't on top of like the tech A-game space. So I've seen a lot of other channels after me, and maybe around the same time, that just kind of blew up. And they're doing the right things. Like, I've seen some of my friends go into like car tech reviews, which is really nice as well. A lot of other people going into that tech lifestyle route, which is kind of where I'm at right now. And to be honest, I kind of like filming that more. I think I do have a lot more to offer, to show, than just the normal tech videos where you kind of say everything. And I personally think this is better to show like a day in the life of my life, because not only do I think it's a unique perspective for you guys, but it's also like a digital timestamp for myself. Growing up and as I'm getting older, I'm noticing a lot of my friends and family are going the traditional 9-to-5 path of, hey, get this job, do this, find security, and just keep going. But frankly, I've just always been very not the most interested in that. I mean, still when I'm recording this video, I'm thinking like, hey, you know, how I'm gonna make a living off this? How do I get to the next point? How can I be able to make better content for you guys and just kind of show off what I have and what I am in this short time on earth that we have here, right? As morbid as it sounds, but you really only get to live once. Being in a time where we have all the technology, all the information that's out there, why not film yourself? Why not show a little bit about what you are, who you are, kind of what you like to do? It just takes a lot of effort. I mean, I will say, you can see here, this is like as real as the day in life videos get. If you're wondering, yes, I do buy each and every one of my phones and I sell them afterwards and use them or keep them. I do have another job on top of this to help support this channel and just everything else in life. So, but yeah, let me know if you want to hear more about my YouTube journey. In a couple months, a couple years, I'll look back into this and think, huh, what the heck? Fully charged by 12:15. Why'd they add 15 more minutes? All right, finally, 12 on the dot. We are at 100% battery. Let's get this day started, baby. Let's do it. Pixel Fold 10. Let's see if it passes the flip test. Like, oh, okay, look at that. All right, first off, I want to take a picture of this. I want to post on my Instagram story. We're gonna get right to using the camera. We're not gonna be playing around. We're gonna stress test this, use it as much as I can. We're gonna get the ultra wide. New chair, aim in, upload. Bro, the Instagram feed is so messed up. I don't know. What am I seeing? While I'm doing that, let's talk about the body of this phone, because I know a lot of us, myself included, aren't huge fans of this heavier build. This thing is chunky, weighing in at 258 grams, which is about 43 grams heavier than the Z Fold 7. And you definitely feel that difference in the pocket and in the hand. And then there's that corner bezel cutout, which is super notorious. Some people hate it, which I think it's fair. It kind of makes the phone look like it was carved out of a block or a stone or embedded into a rock. Now, on the flip side, the new gearless hinge is a big deal. It allows the phone to fold completely flat while also making it thinner and more durable. And because of the engineering, Google pulled off something impressive, an industry first IP68 rating on a foldable. That number 6 in the IP68 means it's completely dust tight, and on foldable, that's not easy to achieve. All right, here's a new chair. It took a little bit of setting up and getting used to, but honestly, it feels really high quality. Kinda, it's like a car seat, very gamerish looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can like recline it, rock back and forth with it. Pretty nice chair. Now I have 2 chairs. I don't know what to do with this one yet. I'm gonna take a rest. I'm gonna check social media real quick and check out my other emails before I head out and get pho. As far as the display, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold makes some subtle but important upgrades over the 9 Pro Fold. On the outside, the cover display grows slightly from 6.3 inches to 6.4 from the Pixel 9 Fold before. It's not a massive jump, but the 10 Pro Fold now hits up to 3000 nits of peak brightness, compared to roughly 1800 to 2700 on the previous model. And that's noticeable, especially outdoors. I just can't get behind the massive glare while using this right beside my window on an overcast day, as you can see right here. It still seems like Google has a little bit of ways to go on improving this. While you open it up, it still keeps the same 8-inch LTPO OLED panel with a 1 to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, but again, brightness also gets a bump from 2700 nits on the 9 Pro Fold to 3000 nits here on the 10. So resolution and overall size stays pretty similar, but Google focused on refining the experience with brighter panels and improved-ish bezel design and better color accuracy. It's less about reinventing the screen and more about making it better where it actually matters. Alright, so it's about 3 p.m. right now and I'm about to head out to grab lunch, dinner, or whatever you want to call it. I connected my Pixel to the Android head unit to run Android Auto on my car, and pairing was super quick, no complications at all. GPS says it's about a 22-minute drive. Now, I've got this MagSafe air vent mount that I've used before with my iPhones, and this year Google introduced their own version called the PixelSnap. It works perfectly with Google accessories, but is also compatible with Apple's MagSafe style gear, and honestly, that's a big plus. I'd even give it an edge over the Samsung here. Once I snapped it onto the mount, it felt very, very secure, even going over bumps and rough patches on the road. To push it further, I actually unfolded the phone while it was mounted just to see how well it would handle the extra weight, and surprisingly, there was barely any sag. It was kind of cool actually, almost like having your own 8-inch Super Actor display mounted in the car. It's so large that it could honestly replace some built-in car screens, and for Google Maps, super useful. Alright, so I just pulled up to the pho spot, and yeah, I took one look at my car and it's filthy. I haven't been able to wash it since the start of this year because of all the snow we've been getting. The salt on these roads are brutal, so I'm definitely overdue for a wash. If any of you guys know, salt definitely affects the undercarriage of the car, and it just affects the paint, the mufflers, and everything beneath it too, so we definitely gotta wash that soon. For a quick battery check, it's about 4 p.m. now, and after some light camera usage, social media scrolling, and Google Maps on the drive over, we're sitting at 78%, and that's a bit of a drop, but we'll keep looking out for it throughout the video. So this place called Pho at Tan Tan honestly has some of the best chicken pho I've had in Philly. The menu is super simple, you either get beef or chicken, and that's it.
Whenever you're ready to order, okay?
Alright, cool. I'm just gonna get a cup of ice water, and it's gonna be pho at regular, please then.
You want the bone in?
Yeah, bone in, please. Yeah, thank you. But when you focus on doing one thing well, it shows because it tastes amazing. The bowl came out in under 5 minutes, which is super clutch, super fast, and on a cold day like this, it hits different.
It's very hot, okay?
Alright, come on guys. Pho, if any of you guys don't know, is basically like a recovery soup. It just tastes really good, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's warm, very hearty, very healthy, and refreshing all at once. Of course, I had to pull out the Pixel 10 Pro Fold and test the cameras out again. Photos came out solid with good color, vibrant tones, and minimal over-sharpening. Over-sharpening was a problem I've seen on phones in the recent years, but seems like they corrected it here with fairly natural looking detail. When we switch over to video though, that's where I have some complaints. Sharpness is decent, but the lens switching from zooming from ultra wide to main to telephoto feels very choppy, as you can see here, especially for a phone at this price point. The transitions aren't smooth and stabilization could definitely be better. For something called the Pixel 10 Pro Fold as a flagship, that's a little disappointing. If Google really wants to compete with the top dogs, especially phones with super smooth in-body stabilization systems, this is an area they need to refine quickly. One unique feature that Pixel has over the competition is the Now Playing, which automatically identifies music playing in your surroundings and displays the song/artist on your lock screen. It operates on device for privacy, storing a local database of songs to recognize tracks without sending audio data to Google. Apparently they were playing some Sabrina Carpenter song in the background of the restaurant, which, is pretty good. After finishing up, I'm heading over to my local IKEA to grab some new shot glasses. I may or may not have broken a few over New Year's, so it's time to restock. So it's only about a 10-minute drive from here. I typed in the address and within seconds, the Tensor G5 CPU and cellular data all kicked in fast. Directions popped up instantly. Yeah, it's good. Thank you very much. I like it. Damn, it's pretty hot in there. But now we're gonna head to IKEA real quick. I need to get some shot glasses. I broke a few of them with my friends the other day, so I'm down to 2 left, so I'm gonna buy a new 6-pack. After that, I'm gonna go check out the OBD scanner on my car real quick, and then head over to breakdancing practice after. This is around 2 hours of screen time usage on it. Everything's been going pretty well with this. There has been a couple of bugs and hiccups, especially when using Instagram and all that, social media. I know especially with the Pixel, sometimes a lot of them are zoomed or cropped in, which is fine. Can't really get out of this. Well, I know the Z Fold on Samsung kind of auto crops it for you, so you're not missing out on any content. One thing I will say about the Pixel is I do like the design a little bit better, honestly. I think the Z Fold 7 without a case is pretty sharp on the hands. I really like how the Pixel 10, it just more rounded corners, everything just feels nicer. This kind of reminds me of like what if iPhone made a foldable phone as well. I love how the iPhone feels in my hand. Samsung's a little bit too sharp for me, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I jab and poke my hand, and especially in the wintertime, like when, all of our hands are dry and crusty and all that stuff, we need lotion. The smallest things can really just hurt your hand when, stabbing at it. I get it, Samsung is trying to be classier, edgier, more luxury, premium feeling, and try to stand out a lot too. And Google takes a more rounded, colorful, fun approach to this. So far, I like how the Pixel feels the most in the hand. I know obviously some people aren't gonna like that little bezel up at the top right over here, which is fine. It took me a little bit of getting used to. I think if you're like an OCD freak, you might be a little irked by it. I'll honestly agree as well. I am too. As far as performance goes, Google's Tensor G5 CPU isn't going to be the fastest out there on the market, with Geekbench scores coming up to around, I think, 2,000 for a single core and around 6,100 for multi-core performance. You do get up to 16 gigabytes of RAM on this, which is very, very nice as well. This CPU should be around 34% faster than last generation's Pixel phones. Yet again, the Tensor G5 CPU is built on a 3nm process, which if you don't understand how small that is, it's pretty microscopic in terms of how much you can cram in that single chip. It's crazy how far we came in smartphone evolution. I know TSMC and all that are trying to work on 2, even 1nm chip sizes. And I think once we hit that point in the next few years in the consumer market, we're gonna be seeing phone speeds that go super crazy and hardware capabilities that we've never thought of. Also, there's like this pretty nice sunset right now, which is hitting. So, I'm holding the camera using 0.5x. I like 0.5x a lot while shooting on this. Yeah, you got the nice wide POV, car, dash cam type shot. Those like TikTok videos where, they have someone else sit over here as well. This is just a really nice back camera too. See right there. All right, it's time to test out this Blue Driver app and see if there's anything wrong with my car, or at least just test it out to see if it actually works. So we got the Pixel unfolded, and I'm downloading the Blue Driver OBD2 scanner on the Google Play Store at the moment using cellular data. Within a couple seconds, it was fully installed. All right, let's plug her in. All right, it's blue light. Let's get that going. I read the terms, scan. That's pretty quick. All right now, so it's reading the codes. And yeah, I know my car doesn't have any problems. So there's a 0 codes reported. Beautiful. The Pixel gives you a solid range of photo options. You can shoot in Pixel RAW or JPEG, and you've got the usual modes like night sight, portrait, and panorama. So flexibility definitely isn't the issue here. But here's a quick zoom test on the bridge nearby, and this is where I still have a problem. That lens switching when zooming just feels so choppy and I can't get behind it. In a real world situation, say you're at a football game or recording something far away and you want that smooth transition when you zoom in and out, but going from ultra wide to main to telephoto isn't seamless on here and it's noticeable. At this price point, it, shouldn't feel that rough. Also, having using the Pixel 10 Pro, Google Gemini being built right into this phone is by far the fastest and most responsive feeling app I've ever used yet. So for example, let's say you're working on your car, right? And you don't know where the air intake hose is, right? We'll pull out Gemini, see where she's at.
Hi, I'm Gemini. All right, let's start chatting whenever you're ready.
Can you show me where the air intake hose is at? It's actually right over there, this little pipe.
Oh, I see it now. The large black pipe connecting to the engine. Is there anything specific you needed to do with it?
Okay, can you show me where my brake fluid is at?
Sure. The brake fluid reservoir is typically a white container with a black cap.
Well, it's actually not.
My mistake. That reservoir with the blue cap is for the windshield washer fluid. The brake fluid reservoir is probably on the other side of the engine bay.
The red one I know is for the power steering, and then the brake fluid reservoir is actually up here. So, I mean, Gemini gets it most of the time. It's not, all I'm saying is it's fast. Yeah, it's got a little bit more to go. All right, I'm walking into IKEA right now, casually recording on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, no shame at all. I went straight to the glass and cup section, and they actually had a solid selection. The phone switching between the main and ultra wide lens here is, as you can tell again, a little shaky, and stabilization isn't the strongest here. But after checking out, I had some time before breakdancing practice at 8 p.m, so I sat down for a bit to reply to some emails, and this is where foldables, not just the Pixel in general, really shine. That split view multitasking is just different. Being able to read, respond, and browse side by side on a larger inner display makes everything feel more open and natural. Even simple things like online shopping or scrolling the web feels better with extra screen real estate, and that's honestly one of the biggest reasons people choose a foldable phone in the first place. Now, the crease is noticeable, you can see it, but just like many others, once you're actually watching something or scrolling, you forget about it pretty quickly. With the device turned off though, it can bug some people though. All in all, I've got to say, I also still love this jade color. It's refreshing and steps away from the usual gray, silver, and monochrome tones we've gotten used to before. I also wanted to mention that Google advertises this hinge can handle up to 10 plus years of folding, so we'll come back to this video in the year 2036. Here we go, new shot glasses. So I think these are stackable. These are about, I think, 1.75 ounces, so a little bit smaller than these. So the ones I had before, they had a flat bottom to it, which looks pretty cool, but you can't stack it, you gotta like kind of hold it. But yeah, they get stuck a little bit, which is... Alright, so practice is like 20 minutes, so we'll do a quick battery check real quick. So with all the Google Maps that you saw, the camera test, and we're still not done because I'm gonna get a lot of breakdancing footages. 54%. Also, this chair here, it's pretty comfy as well. I know my cat tore up this a lot. Yeah, this feels really nice. I like the fabric on here a lot. Alright, to wrap up the night, I gotta get my daily exercise in, so I'm pulling up to breakdancing practice. Some of y'all already know I've been dancing for over 8 years now, and it's something I genuinely love. It's creative, it's challenging, and it keeps you in serious shape. The practice I go to is open to everyone in the city, but because of the snow, turnout was lighter than usual. Still, that didn't stop the work. I started with some light stretches like the seated straddle, toe touches, and leg swings, just loosening up everything, and then I jumped into a few ciphers to get warm. So right here, the move that you're seeing that I'm like flying in the air with my hands is called the flare, and it's not easy. If you search it up, you're basically supporting your entire body weight on your hands, alternating as they hit the ground while whipping your legs and hips around and keeping them straight and so controlled. Strength, coordination, and timing all have to line up. A couple of the local breakdancers pulled up too, and I was low-key studying, watching what worked, what didn't, and what I could improve upon. And that's one of my favorite parts about practice. It's being around other people, it's motivating, it's competitive in a healthy way, and honestly, it's just fun to catch up and build with people who share the same passion. So you can see by the end of it, I was totally drenched, definitely putting in the work in tonight. One last thing I forgot to mention is the ability to preview photos right on the other half of the screen. It's pretty straightforward. As soon as you take the shot, it pops up instantly on the other side, so you don't have to jump into the gallery app to check it out. This is not a brand new feature for foldables, but I kind of like how it's implemented here on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. This one feels clean and super intuitive. Also, I'm not going to dive too deep into the camera specs. You can easily look those up, but one feature I think is actually pretty fun is the Add Me feature, and it's built directly into the camera app. Do you mind helping me take this photo? So basically, there's this like option on this phone, right? I want you to take a picture of me, and then it's going to tell you to take it again. It's going to merge 2 photos into one. All you got to do is just take it twice. I'm going to go in. I'm going to stand up real quick, right? Take a picture.
Got it?
And it's going to tell you to take it again, right?
Alright, got it.
Basically, you take a photo, then swap places with someone else and take another one. The AI quickly stitches everything together so it looks like you were all in the same frame at the same time. And I think this is great for group shots when someone has to be behind the camera. Honestly, the AI processing here is kind of wild, fast, seamless, and surprisingly clean. My friend and I had way too much fun testing it out.
Oh,
That feels good. Low-key, one of the only times I like winter after you come from a good practice and it's like really, really cold outside. I do want to do one quick battery check again. There was a lot of video recording. So far, we're at 46%. So right now I'm gonna go home, cook something quick. It's 10 p.m. So it's been a long day in life. I'm gonna upload some files I need to do for my other contract. Gonna go check some social media, take care of other things and get ready for the next day. Okay, so essentially the Pixel 10 Pro Fold has a tough act to follow, especially launching after the Z Fold 7, so this raised the bar for thinness and portability. So yeah, Samsung still wins when it comes to sleekness and raw performance, but Google fights back in some meaningful ways. You do get a bigger 5015 mAh battery cell, brighter displays, Key 2 magnetic charging, and most importantly that PixelSnap, which works with MagSafe, and an industry-first IP68 rating on a foldable. That durability alone is a big deal, and it all comes in $200 cheaper. The cameras can hold their own, especially with their 5x optical zoom, but you already heard what I had to say about it. The AI features can feel hit or miss, but when they work, they're genuinely impressive. TLDR, the trade-off with the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, it's thicker, heavier, not as powerful for gaming, and doesn't feel quite as refined in motion as Samsung's foldable. So here's what it comes down to. If you want the thinnest, most polished foldable experience yet, Samsung still has that edge. But if you do care about durability, battery life, bigger screens, and overall value, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is a serious contender. It's not perfect, but it's way better than most people are bashing it on for. Anyways, I appreciate you all for watching my full day in the life video with the Fold 10. This is easily the longest video I made so far, so if you made it to the end, you're a real one. Let me know down in the comments below what phone you want to see me test next, or if you're using this one, how it's been for you. I tried my best using this phone in a realistic, everyday way, so if you're into that kind of content, consider subscribing and sticking around. If so, that's all I got for this week's video. This is Rich Me, signing off.